Welcome to the Freedom CEO podcast. It's about becoming the chief decision maker over your life in order to step into a life of freedom. From business, health, wealth, charity, and giving back to just doing life on your own terms. I am your host, Shae. I am an award-winning activist, change maker, and a multifaceted impact entrepreneur with over a decade of experience in business, philanthropy, and health and wellness. In this space, I'm going to be bringing you insights, not just from me, but from incredible thought leaders around the globe to help you start making decisions towards living a life of freedom so you can live a life you love. Are you ready, guys? Because we are going all in. I recently hosted a 2-hour masterclass called The Audit, The Path to Financial Empowerment, where we dive in and get really clear on all things to do with money and finances, your relationship with money, your money mindset, and how to build wealth, how to create freedom and that longevity to sustain financial freedom, which ultimately brings you financial empowerment. And it's time that women get in the driver's seat of their finances to be able to create security in their life and to own and create their own freedom. And so I wanted to give you guys a taste of what happened in the masterclass and give you a good piece that I think you're going to get a lot of value out of. You're going to learn some things. And so grab a piece of paper. You might want to jot down a few things that you're going to learn along the way. And I hope you enjoy it. Love to hear your comments and feedback. Make sure to leave me a review, or like I always say, you can send me a message in my DMs on Instagram because they are always open. I think that it takes a lot of courage to have this conversation, oftentimes with women. We come in from many different backgrounds and lives and circumstances, and women tend to carry, consciously or subconsciously, and we're going to dive into that in a moment, shame or embarrassment for their lack of understanding or knowledge, or shame and embarrassment that they even have this desire to become wealthy or to hold money. It's not culturally how most women grew up, and that gets passed down to us, right? Traditional roles of gender. And so sometimes women coming into these spaces, there can be a little fear and uncomfortableness. So I want to just commend you and congratulate you for being here and showing up, because I know that it can take a little bit of courage to come into these conversations. So, and let's just say tonight, this is like fresh start. Welcome wherever you are in your journey on finances, wealth, and what you're wanting to create. I always say this is even for me. We're all here to learn, and I continuously am trying to learn and surround myself with people who know more, who have done more, who have achieved more, so that I can learn and I can apply and I can continue to grow. And so we all had to start on some journey at some point and asking the same questions. And so there's no judgment, and this is just a powerful and safe space for you tonight. And so I'm just, happy and excited that you guys are here. If we haven't had the opportunity to meet before, I thought I would just take 1 minute just to share a little bit of who I am and my background. As you can see on the screen, my name is Shae. I'm from the Toronto, Oakville area, born in Toronto, raised in Oakville. And for the past 15 years, I've been in real estate. I grew up in an entrepreneurial household, had 2 parents that were working. So that was also a part of my upbringing. And, we're going to get into that in a moment. But I saw mom and dad, male and female, working in making money. And so I was brought up in that type of home and lifestyle around entrepreneurship and going out and creating things. And so now in the past 15 years, I've been in real estate. I've started my own organizations and grown them. I have multiple properties, vacation properties, investments, including foreign international real estate as well. And most, I would say, like my heartbeat, and people who have known me tend to kind of know this, I think, a little stronger, is that for the last 20 years, I have advocated and championed for women.
I have a nonprofit organization that fights human trafficking here in Canada and abroad. And very much freedom is at like the heart of everything I do. It's at the core in my own DNA. And so over these past, I'm going to say like 6 months, I've had my own growth and expansion that's coming in my own journey, and taking this advocating and championing for women and taking it now to a new step where I really feel that I'm being called to empower women to experience actual true freedom, not just freedom on a basic level that I've been fighting for a very long time for, but stepping into that full embodiment of what it means to be free. And I don't believe you can actually truly be free without wealth, without having money. You can be happy, but you can't truly be free. And there's many reasons around that. And so this conversation around money with women, it's taboo, it can be icky, it can be uncomfortable. And I just have this desire to bridge that gap and to see more women become independently wealthy, regardless of if you're in a relationship or not, but just in your own, that's your sovereignty to be able to do that. And so, and it's a birthright. That's what I always say, you know, freedom is our birthright. You were born and you are born to be free. And yet it's seen as such a luxury still in our world, right? Like when you see other people having the ability to do what they want, buy what they want, be where they want, live what they want, wear the clothes they want, it's like that's like a luxury, and it shouldn't be. It's a birthright for us to live in a state of abundance and to be free. And so that's going to be part of it tonight. And you know, I think sometimes, again, it can be difficult to talk about this because we're not just talking about the fabric of money, like dollars and cents. It's tied to our ego, vanity, our identity as well, right? And so it's asking you to open up parts of yourself that maybe you've never addressed consciously. You're also possibly having to start doing that with some people in your life, be it your spouse or your partner, maybe it's a bestie. But as you're opening it up, you're going to see that this actually creates the pathway to building what you want. And I'll just share this as we're getting into it. Like men, when you go to the golf course, you go into a locker room, when you go to a cigar lounge, and you're in what I call like the boys club, men have a much better ability to say what's working in finances and what's not. This is where they effed up. This is where they're thriving. Who are you speaking to? What's your investment strategy that you're doing? They talk about these things, and we as women don't. And so it's getting comfortable with going, okay, we're going to open this part up of me that I'm used to holding in. And I think as you do that more and more and you start to practice that, you're going to see that more women are relating and more women also have that desire. Yeah, and Tracy's saying, she's like, since I shared that with her, she's so fired up. And we had a very vulnerable conversation, and it was so impactful. And this isn't to say you go and open yourself up to every single person. No, like use discretion, use wisdom, but we have to start giving ourselves permission to talk about things. And we have to start giving ourselves permission to say it's okay where I'm at, because that can change at any point. You have the power to change that. And so, and it starts with you investing in yourself. And I always say that's the greatest investment you can actually make. When people say, what are the best investments? I'm like, it starts with you, right? So the more you pour into yourself, the better returns you're going to get, the better ROI, which is the return on your investment that you're going to see. And then you can start doing all kinds of other stuff because you yourself, you're growing. So I want to say that if you showed up tonight, you're like, I want to be an investor and I'm not there yet. For me, the fact that you're here and you invested to be here tonight into yourself, you're already becoming an investor. Like you're already there without maybe you realizing it. And so I want to celebrate you in that moment. I want you to be proud, and I want you to feel like effing right. I am an investor, and I'm just going to become better, and I'm going to grow, and I'm going to start investing in also other things. But tonight you've already started to invest in yourself. And so I celebrate you, and I'm very proud of you for being here for that. So you'll see on in your workbook, there's a few objectives for this workshop tonight that I would love to just quickly go over with you guys. The first being gaining financial clarity on where you are versus where you think you are, and also then where you want to be going. So like, let's get really, really clear. And understanding what your money mindset is and your relationship with your money is going to be super important to allow for that restructure to happen. Okay. And you may come out of this going, I really wanted to learn investment strategies and I really wanted to be told like where to put my money and how to compound it. We're going to touch a little bit on that, but you can't run before you know how to walk, and you can't walk before you can crawl. And the most important part, the number one thing for success is your mindset. It all starts here. And so if we can't break down the narratives and the programming subconsciously and consciously that you have inherited, not your fault, we all grew up with it. We're all predisposed to something good or bad. And if we can't address this and start to reframe it, no matter what strategies you get from me or the best strategist, investment strategist in the world, you're still most likely going to be in the same position because you're holding on to a narrative, a story, a belief that doesn't serve you and is holding you back. And so this is us laying the foundation, which is the last objective, is that I want you to walk away feeling like you're building that foundation strong, like you're feeling empowered, you're feeling breakthroughs, and that you walk away from here going, yeah, I'm on the path to becoming an investor. And so part of that is having your financial awakening, which is the objective just before that last one, where we're going to start laying down some of these financial literacies, starting to talk about some terms. And some of you might already know, some of you might not. But that's really the goal tonight, is that we're laying down a foundation. And then from here, you're going to start to be able to build. And I'm going to share with you at the end, I've got another workshop that's coming up next month that may or may not be a good fit for you to be going, yep, this would be a great building block for me. But tonight we want to lay your foundation strong so then you can start building without it collapsing from underneath you. Cool? Yeah. Okay. I've been getting my head nods, thumbs up. We're good. So that's fantastic.
If you loved this segment and it has you sitting there going, gosh, I wish I could have been in this webinar. Well, guess what, my friend? I have great news for you. The replay is still available, and I wanted to offer it to you exclusively here so that you can catch the full webinar that comes with a 26-page workbook, and you are going to get all of the goodness from beginning to end, and then you can work at it at your own pace and have it to reference at any time you want. So if this is of interest to you, I would love to see you inside the webinar and also hear what you think of it after the fact. But to gain access to it, you can click on the link in the show notes, or like I always say, you can send me a DM on Instagram and DM me the word audit, and I will send you the link where you can gain access to that replay. Thanks for tuning into the Freedom CEO podcast. If you got value out of today's show, I would love for you to leave a review, as it will help my show reach other people as well. You know what to do. Download this episode, click the like and subscribe button. If you feel like spreading more love, hop over to Instagram and share today's show in your stories. Remember to tag Shae and the Freedom CEO. My DMs are always open, so drop me a line. I'd love to connect. Until next time, keep owning your decisions to live a life of freedom. Live a life you love.